Dead Sea, a 2024 horror movie about a group of friends who end up being kidnapped by a crazy fisherman and being sold for body parts. Now, I actually did a trailer reaction to this movie very recently, and I was saying in that video that this film was looking like it was very similar to the Hostel films, but on the sea, and it did give off some, very similar vibes, but this movie is not as gory as the Hostel films. In fact, it doesn't even come close. Dead Sea is definitely tame when it comes to the gore aspect. Now, the main character in this movie, Kaya, she's looking after her little brother due to the mum not being around and her dad being an alcoholic, or at least that's what's implied in the movie. And basically, he doesn't look after his son too good and pretty much neglects him. That's the vibes that I was getting. So Kaya does all of the work, even cooking her father breakfast before heading off with her friend Tessa for a day out. Now, Tessa surprises Kaya with a jet ski adventure with Tessa's boyfriend Julian and his friend Xander. Now, while they're all out on the jet ski adventure, there is indeed an accident, and the four of them end up crashing and getting really badly hurt. Now, poor Julian, he ends up becoming fish food because we never see him again after the crash, and the rest of them are then stranded in the middle of the ocean. That is, until when a fisherman comes along and rescues him. A very good looking fisherman, might I add. Of course, the fisherman is dodgy as hell. He ends up locking away Kaya and Tessa and keeping them hostage until a very dodgy doctor arrives on his boat, and he ends up taking Xander's, I think it's his liver or his kidney, in order to save the life of some rich dude back at home for his daughter. Basically, the crazy doctor guy is paying the fisherman, and this fisherman's name is called Ray, by the way. So basically, this guy is paying Ray to capture people while he is out on sea so the doctor can take certain body parts or organs for rich families that need it. It's a big money earner. Now, after Xander is thrown into the sea for the sharks, the rest of the movie turns into a fight for survival for both Tessa and Kaya. Now, what I was really impressed with was Kaya's character. I felt they gave her character a really good backstory with her caring for her brother and pretty much, taking a lot onto her shoulders. And she didn't initially want to go on the jet ski adventure just in case her brother needed her, and then you end up seeing just how feisty she can actually be. She really does do her very best to try and get herself and her best friend out of this terrible situation. Even when it is looking as if they have no hope whatsoever, she continues to battle on. But I loved the moment where she ends up tricking Ray, the fisherman, with her womanly charms just after he has stabbed her in the stomach, or was it the kidney area? I'm not sure, but it was down in the lower part of her body. Now, she ends up trying to seduce Ray, and she ends up putting her hand up onto his face, and then Ray looks like that he's about to get some sexy time, and then bang! Kaya shoots a flare gun right into his face, and it is bloody fantastic. Towards the end of the movie, when Kaya is trying to throw that tracker thing into the water to try and get rescued, she's dragging herself to the deck because, she has been stabbed, and it's quite an intense scene watching her every move trying to survive. Even when it's the next day and the rescue team arrive, Kaya is laying there on the boat looking like that she is dead, and then later on she does end up flatlining as they're trying to get her back to shore and to the hospital. It's proper looking like that she wasn't going to make it. Now, her friend Tessa, she does end up being rescued from the water, and she managed to hold on to this dinghy thing all night, and I honestly thought that the sharks may have got her, but I actually almost got quite emotional when it was looking like that Kaya was gonna die. I was thinking, no, she has worked so bloody hard to try and get help. Her little brother's gonna be distraught. What is he gonna do? He relies on her, but then they manage to get her back and all is okay in the world. Like, honestly, horror films don't often make me emotional like this, so kudos to that one. As I said earlier, this film isn't as gory as I was predicting it to be. Not that, it's a bad thing or anything. I actually don't think it's a bad thing on this occasion. I think it's pretty good that the gore Richter scale wasn't ramped up to 100. I mean, it might annoy the gore fans out there, but honestly, this is more of a fight for your life survival that does become quite intense. I mean, there are a few slow burn moments in the movie, but I actually think that it worked on this occasion. I didn't find myself bored or looking at my phone. I just think that the few little slow burn moments actually added to the whole horror at sea scenario. And quickly just going back to the gore for a second, there are some bloody moments, I mean, it's certainly not a PG horror, do not get me wrong on that, but it is not on the same level as Hostel. I loved everything that happens before the jet skiing accident. We get to see some beautiful scenes, beautiful imagery of the end of the water, the rocks and the beautiful tropical fish. We even get to see swimming pigs, which is just adorable. It was a really nice little intro / build up to get us to know these characters before the carnage began. This film has actually made me want to go to the Bahamas and go swimming with pigs. And speaking of lush imagery, there are actually some beautiful scenes of the full moon during the nighttime scenes, which is a little bit of a weird thing to say when you think about what's going on in the fisherman's boat, but you can't help but look at it and be wowed by it. Well, at least I did. Anyone who loves the ladies will enjoy this movie. There is a lot of, shall we say, purposely angled camera moments of Kaya's bum in a bikini that is clearly aimed to add a little bit of sex appeal into the movie. So the lads and the ladies who like the women will enjoy this. And as I said earlier, the fisherman is looking good too. So that is one for the ladies and the gays as well. Something for everyone. I only really have one gripe about this film, and it happens just after the jet skiing accident and when the guys are first picked up by the fisherman. Now, the girlfriend, Tessa, she doesn't seem that heartbroken when her boyfriend, Julian, ends up lost at sea and probably dead after the accident. You would have thought that she would have been a bit more devastated, but honestly, she's not. I mean, we get a little bit of it, but it's nothing. It just did not sit normal with me. I mean, a girl losing her boyfriend in a horrific accident, you'd think she'd be screaming at the top of her lungs at the fisherman to, get his boat, start moving, let's go and find him. But it's almost as if she's like, oh well, he's lost, probably dead. Oh well. But apart from that, I really did enjoy the movie as a whole. Everything from the storytelling to the actors and actresses all playing their parts really, really well, especially Kaya's character, which is definitely the standout performance in this movie. The two villains in the movie, the fisherman Ray and then the crazy doctor, they both get their just desserts beautifully, and it was very satisfying to watch. And the movie does actually have, very strangely, a happy ending. It's not always a good thing in horror movies, but on this occasion, you are really, really rooting for Kaya to survive by the end of it all, so it really, really works. I will definitely be adding this movie to my collection, and I am going to give Dead Sea a rating of 7 out of 10. This movie is worth a watch. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. Now, I do think that maybe the people who won't enjoy it for certain reasons, like maybe the lack of gore, maybe the slow burn moments, these sort of negative comments that will all be over online, they will always, they will literally thrive. But honestly, guys, ignore them always watch movies, with your own eyeballs, and honestly, just give it a go. You will enjoy it. Now, if you have already seen the movie, then what you doing, guys? Please let me know in the comments box below what you guys thought of it. Right then, well, I have reached the end of this video, so thank you all for stopping by today. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Stay safe out there, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.